Uh, Illinois, Arkansas jumps off the page as like, that's a fun first round matchup to me. There's a lot of, I think, fun teams in here. I wish UCLA was fully healthy. Northwestern Cart, Buvui, Chase Hottige, they get a shot here. Gonzaga also feels like they're just flying under the radar to me right now. What do we make of this region? Sweeney, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, it's stacked, right? You have, and I've seen I think Bart Torvik tweeted that Kansas is the 5th highest ranked team in his metrics in the region, which is like banana land, right? And I don't agree with that. Like, I think Kansas is better than that, but they just get blown out, and that can tank your metrics a little bit. So, but that does illustrate to you like how good this region can be. Like you said, that there are some injury things, namely the Jalen Clark and potentially Adam Bona things at UCLA. But I too found myself having this kind of gravitational pull to Gonzaga. And I've kind of always thought this year, like, it would be very college basketball if the year that Gonzaga feels vulnerable and weak, that they go out and win the whole damn thing. But Gonzaga quietly has really turned it on lately. And I think early in the season, you look at Gonzaga and say the only way they can win a championship is their offense becomes an inferno, because their defense is just not going to get there with Timmy as the center and no Chet blocking everything at the rim. Well, all of a sudden the offense kind of is an inferno, and Hickman's starting to play better, and Bolton's playing better, and Anton Watson, who I think if you ask people inside the Gonzaga program would say is the most important player on their team, he's been playing extremely, extremely well. Like, I kind of think Gonzaga makes a real run here, like, and maybe wins this whole region. Like, I think I'm going to pick that. That's what I have penciled in right now. The potential for Kansas, Arkansas, or Kansas, Illinois in the round of 32 will be really good. Potential for Kansas, UConn in the round of Sweet 16 could be really good. The potential for Gonzaga, UCLA could be really good. The potential for UConn or Kansas versus Gonzaga or UCLA could be really, really good. Like, the West is going to be must-see TV. I know I will be out in Vegas for it. I believe some of our Field of 68 colleagues will be as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I cannot wait to see who comes out of it. But my hunch says, and again, we'll kind of go vibes here, Gonzaga's done a whole lot of work in Vegas over the years. Mm-hmm. Like the WCC tournament, like that's Spokane South. Like, I know that like New Mexico fans call Las Vegas the Pit West for Mountain West tournament. I don't know if Gonzaga fans have a thing for this, but like, I think they should call it like Spokane South, and they get to go through Spokane South to go to the Final Four. And I think they can do it. I really do.
Do you have your SPF 600 packed for Vegas, Sweeney?
Relax.
I just wondering. I mean, listen, I have some. If you need it, I can give it to you. Cart, I'm in on Gonzaga with Sweeney, for the record. I'm spoiling our pick section here, but I have Gonzaga winning this region. I don't think anybody's talking about them. You and I have swung the opposite side on Gonzaga in the past with teams that are objectively better than this year's version of Gonzaga. Why am I talking myself into the Zags? Like, is this stupid, Cart, or do you see it?
No, I think it's a really different setting for them. Like, the past couple years, it's always been Gonzaga, the number one team. You know, they hover around being top 5 or the number one team in KenPom year after year after year. You know, one seed after one seed after one seed, and everyone just kind of wrote them off this year. And they had, obviously they lost more games than they have in previous years, but they're peaking at the right time. I mean, and talent wise, Drew Timmy's still doing what Drew Timmy does. I don't know if people are taking notice or not, but Drew Timmy is still him. Drew Timmy damn near might even be better than he ever has been. So, they're kind of just laying low, laying in the weeds, and then they kind of just have a good, I like their draw. I think they have a great chance to come out of this bracket. I mean, it kind of pains me because I wanted, to put UConn in my Final Four from this region. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning. I'm kind of switching back and forth, and I really might want to put the Zags there. This is going to be a fun region in general. Like, I think VCU packs up St. Mary's in the first round just because I love VCU's guards, and I think they're going to have Aiden Mahaney in hell. So, I think it's going to be a really fun region, though.
Yeah, it's the most I'm excited to watch these games more than I am.
Yeah, 100%. Like TCU a 6 seed, like. Yeah. Give me that. Like Mike Miles, like, come on. I need that.
If we could get, no offense to Nevada, but if we could get Arizona State's chaos against TCU and Mike Miles, I would really enjoy that.
Gonzaga versus TCU second round, first to 100.
So fun. UCLA, we kind of glazed over them. That's just due to injury, I assume. I feel like a week ago we would have had a lot more conversations there. Is that what's going on here, Sweeney?
I mean, look, like I really considered picking UCLA to win this whole region, right? Like I understand the concerns with Clark, and I think it probably stops them from winning a national championship. But like, I still think the most important trait any team can have in college basketball is competitiveness. I think UCLA is the most competitive team in the country. Like, I think those dudes hate losing. And I think Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez just do not allow UCLA to lose close games, with the exception of last night when Courtney Ramey hit a ridiculous step back to go win the game, right? Like, okay, right? Like, live with it. UCLA played a whale of a ball game in that game without one of their most important players. And I think that shouldn't be overlooked, right? I don't think people should be surprised if they win this thing, is all I'm going to say. And I think people have gotten to that point where it's like, oh, they can't do it. They have no shot now. And I actually kind of think that's a good thing for them. Like, I kind of think the underdog thing will suit them really well.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Arkansas, Illinois, quickly, another first round matchup that is at the top of my list. Brad Underwood, no Sweet 16s in his Illinois tenure. How about an Arkansas-Kansas draw this year to try to get there? That doesn't seem too friendly for our boy Daddy Brad.
Nah, it definitely doesn't. Even though if somehow Illinois can get over Arkansas, I think I'm picking Arkansas to win that game. But if Illinois does get to Kansas, like, I don't know about that. I might lean towards Illinois. I think that Illinois team can match up with Kansas pretty well. And, maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll finally see the positionless great basketball, post Kofi Coburn that everyone's been talking about all year. But I truly do think that Illinois team can actually match up pretty well with that Kansas team. And I think you kind of seen that if DeJuan Harris isn't aggressive, this Kansas team is not the same level as they, have looked when they looked at their peak this year.
Illinois would have answers.
Can Anthony Black play booty ball?
Oh, God. I hope not. Honestly, I don't think we want to see that, Sweetie. All right, let's do picks. We got about a minute and a half left here. Cart, who you got?
Let's see here. Okay, so I do have Kansas coming out of that top part. I got UConn, and then I got Gonzaga, and I got UCLA. I got Gonzaga beating UCLA, and I got UConn beating Kansas, and then I got the Zags coming out. Zags going to the Final Four out of that region. And I might, I feel bad. I love UConn. I really want to put them there, but I don't know.
All right. Well, you have one more minute to make your final decision. Sweeney, who you got?
Yeah, I have Kansas, UConn, Gonzaga, UCLA, Kansas and Gonzaga, and then Gonzaga to another Final Four.
I think that's the right answer. If this is like a test, I think Sweeney has the right questions right now, or the right answers right now. I have Kansas and UConn. I have UConn beating Kansas, but I think before Thursday, I'm going to flip that. I have Gonzaga, and I have Northwestern, boys. I have Boo Buie and Chase Audige.
Hey, Boo Darius.
Don't let him get hot, man. Listen, I like the draw. Like, I think UCLA, yes, they're competitive as shit, but they're hurt right now. And like, I think Boo Buie and Chase Audige could both play a really good game against UCLA's backcourt. Tiger Campbell's great, but I don't know. I think there's a Cinderella story tale ending for Northwestern.